Good morning. My name is Michael Davis. I am a state certified substance abuse counselor with mental health systems. And I have working on 6 years clean and sober. Well, when I started out in Pop Warner football at a very young age and progressed through the years. And by the time I was in high school, I became a star football player. And by the time I was a senior, I was wanted by every college in the nation. I was sitting over 100 offers. And can you imagine a young man at 17 years old and everybody wants you? So my head was big. So I ended up signing a full ride to USC, played in a couple of Rose Bowls, national championship, 1978, signed with Seattle Seahawks. That didn't last very long, and I'll talk about that a little later. And so when I became a star football player and ended up at SC, as I stated, I started living life in the fast lane. You know, I sold out to fame and fortune, and I thought cocaine, which is my drug of choice, was a part of that fantasy. And so I ended up using cocaine as a recreational drug, and socializing in that crowd. But one thing that I had to realize is that I sold out. I sold out my childhood values. I was raised in the church. I was raised in my father's church, as a matter of fact. And I was taught the difference between right and wrong, and to be a hard worker. And so when I became an athlete, a star athlete, my head was big and I felt like I was above the law. By the time I decided to turn, I had went through very many programs and rehabs, and I ended up getting blackballed from the NFL because I thought that I could sell cocaine and play pro football at the same time. They had other ideas. And that sent me into a tailspin because my identity was wrapped up in Michael Davis, the football player. And I really focus on who I really was as a person. And so recovery for me put me back in touch with the things that I was raised with, my values, morals, integrity, being a man of my word. I guess, the cocaine and the addiction, it leads you to being a compulsive thinker. You think without, you act without thinking. That's what I want to say. You act without thinking. And so when recovery for me is when I had to surrender my own will to my higher power, whom I choose to call Jesus Christ. When I surrender to God and I surrender to my higher power and I allow life to be life and let it just come naturally, getting in touch with my values, things that are important to me. And I began to change the way I think through prayer and meditation and changing my thinking, making better decisions, basing all my decisions on the things that I value in life. Those are the things that recovery brought to me. Being able to get in touch with my emotions and becoming emotionally stable. Those are the things that recovery brought to me. Once again, recovery helped me and taught me to learn, how to live clean and sober. The coping skills to me was related to relationships, learning how to have healthy relationships with people. I used to think a relationship was always between a man and a woman, your girlfriend, your wife, and but everything in life and everywhere you go you're involved in relationships. Living life one day at a time, taking life one moment at a time. Sometimes it's one moment at a time, and then avoiding to be overwhelmed. Let's see. Forgiveness, a lot of times we're controlled or we're hung up on the things in the past. So I had to let go of some resentments. I had to let go of feeling that I was blackballed from the NFL and they didn't treat me right. And so I had to let go of some things in the past. And so the coping skills would be, being able to take responsibility for my own actions. Stop blaming other people for what happened to me, and take responsibility and deal with life on life's terms, and allow my faith and my higher power to work everything out, and quit trying to control everything. I had control issues. I wanted to control how people think. I wanted to control what people do. And so I had to realize that I have no control over people, places, and things. That in itself relieves me of a whole lot of stress and emotional drama. The advice that I would give to someone that is being pressured to use drugs, or even to do things that that's not right, I would say to you, be resilient, be a trendsetter. Never allow no one to control your behavior, your actions, or your emotions. Always be settled in, and make every decision that you make is based on the things that you value of integrity, morals. Morals is a right standard of living the right way. I have principles today, and you have boundaries. So you want to live within those boundaries of your morals and values, and not allow any negative outside influence to influence you to do what you know is not right to do. Drugs, they lead to jail, institution, or death. You be the trendsetter. You set the trend, and be a leader and not a follower. You're resilient people, in spite of their environment, in spite of being raised around drugs and alcohol. Resilient people, they come out and they become successful, and they become productive members of society. And I just want to share with you, once I surrendered to my higher power, Jesus Christ, and once I surrendered to the process of recovery and began to work the 12 steps that's teaching me how to live a clean and sober life and have a spiritual connection or relationship with my higher power, I surrendered my will and I trusted in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And today I am a successful state certified substance abuse counselor. I am a self-employed contractor. I have my own nonprofit organization where I house the homeless, House of Redemption. And that is, I have to throw that little plug in there. And I think most of all, I was able to write a book. So I have a book published, and the title of that book is Victorious Change. And I will keep you posted. It should be out within the next 2 months. That tells my life story from a pro football player, from raised in church, to a pro football player, football star, to homeless in the streets, to a drug program, graduated, now celebrating almost 7 years of sobriety and success. Thank you. Hopefully this has helped someone to change their life. God bless you.
Hi, my name is Axel Vasquez. I'm a member of the Colton Coalition. I'm also a football player for the freshman football team. I play defensive end and linebacker. me.
In football, I played linebacker. And for that position, you need to learn how to take care of your ground. And I took that into the coalition and learned how to take care of what I need to do. There was a time in middle school where I was into all this mess. Like I thought smoking and hanging with the wrong people was cool. It came to a time where I got in trouble for hanging with these people. And throughout the time, my siblings introduced me into a group called the Coalition. In this group, I learned how to take care of myself and the people around me. I also learned how to avoid all these people for doing something better. I also joined football over the summer to do something better and not worse. The Colton Coalition made an event called Escape the Vape in San Bernardino Valley College. The event was a huge success, and throughout the 2 years I was working with the Coalition on a project to pass a TRL in our city of Colton. Throughout the hard work and all the success that we passed, we finally passed the TRL in our city of Colton. I enjoyed making this video, and thank you for taking the time to listen to what I have to say.